What's going on, YouTube? So it's Martin, and Kristina's actually not going to be in this video because she's actually sleeping. Like you guys saw, it's early in the morning. It's about 5 a.m. This is usually when I start a lot of my edits for our videos, so I usually try to crank out about 2 hours in the morning and then here and there throughout the day or right before post if needed. So I'm going to show you guys a couple tricks that I use. I'm not going to show you guys how I edit a full video because this is going to be just a montage of a thrifting for gold video. If you have seen those videos, we kind of do like a montage in the thrift store of just like cool shots of B-roll and everything, and then we bring it back home to show the haul. So we haven't even filmed the haul yet. So I'm just going to show you guys how I edit this little montage, and then I'm going to actually be getting into filming the haul with Kristina, so I will post a whole different video on that where you guys will see the montage that I edited in this video, in another video, in an actual finished video. So there might be a couple new clips because I don't have all the GoPro clips on my computer yet. I was just looking, have not imported them, so I'm just going to show you guys how I make this little montage and tell you some tricks and tips I use, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so first thing I do is I get all my clips onto the timeline in order, how I need them, with my intro cut and everything. So pretty much I have the intro clip that I filmed that I know is going to be the intro clip, and then I cut our actual intro that I edited and made, and then I just kind of roll the clips dead from whatever they are, just in order from what I filmed them. And like I said, I am missing, I think, 2 GoPro clips, possibly just 1. So I'm just going to show you guys how I kind of quickly scrub through this and what I do. So pretty much, as you guys can see, it's just us at the bins, 2 clips of us finding stuff, and then 1 clip of us putting the stuff in the car. So first things first is I always go and try to find some music. So let me go get that. First thing I always do is I always go get good music. So I'll go in my folder here of good music and I usually do not like to reuse a song twice. I usually try to always get a new song, but for this purpose I'm just going to reuse a song that I have in here. So I know I have not used this song in a while, and it's not a bad song, so I'm just going to drag it right in, and hopefully it's not too bad. Sometimes I don't get it good on the first try, but music is always too loud when I import it, so if you are in Premiere Pro or anything, you definitely probably want to turn it down to, I always do at least 20, negative 20 on the timeline, because that just makes it best in my ears, I feel. So let's see what song I even got. This is like my old intro actually, so I'm not going to use that song because that was an old intro song of mine. So definitely not using that. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, let's see how this one is. Will it fit the mood? That's another thing too, is I always try to fit the mood of the video. So us digging in the bins, would this be fit with that? I don't know. I'm not really feeling this one, so let me get rid of these 2. I really should mark these so I know what they are, but I always just do a random guessing. That's another reason why I like to just get new music so I don't have to deal with trying to find old music. But no, I'm not going to use that song. So if you guys are wondering what music I do use, I use anything in the Creator Studio that YouTube lets you use. So that's really awesome that they give you just some free music that you can use, and you just download it. It's super easy. Free of charge, like I said. I don't believe I did or not. And then also I have a subscription to Epidemic Sound, so it's about $15 a month, and there's a bunch of sound effects, bunch of actual music and everything. So really awesome to have that. I found that from Peter McKinnon actually. So if you guys do want to check that out, I'll put their website down below or whatever. There's no affiliates or anything, so just check that out. I don't know if you want to get a subscription or not, but I find all my music from there. They got great music. There's a lot of different categories and everything. There's so much music, so that's where I use a lot, and I use the Creator Studios because they have sound effects and music as well. But for now, I need to find a song. I think this one should be good. I've been using it a lot lately. I don't want to use that one. This is like my favorite like song for like thrifting for gold videos, so I think I'm gonna go with this one. So, like I said, first thing I do is turn it down -20 because it's always too loud. I'll do that with any sound effects too. So I think for this I'm gonna start the music right after the intro, so it just kind of plays. So we'll see how that goes. What's going on, YouTube? So it's Martin.
Hey, Kristina.
From Thrift Store Gold, back at you with another Thrifting for Gold episode. So with this, actually, I'm gonna put a L cut, J cut maybe? I don't know. So that is where you take this bottom row and you take the sound out, and then you take this top one and you take the picture out for a little bit, and then you put them, you mash them together. And then make sure that this cut is still not open. Sorry, I'm horrible at explaining this stuff, but, and then this is an L cut.
For some gold. So, they're pretty...
Alright, so that didn't load. Give me 1 second.
He's searching for some gold. So, they're putting out new bin...
Give me 1 second, guys.
Some gold. So, they're putting out...
Alright, so this is the L cut.
And we're going to be searching for some gold. So, they're putting out new bins now. We are waiting.
So it's just a nice cut, like transition from clip to clip. I really love using that. I think it just kind of flows a lot smoother than just a hard cut sometimes. So really like happy that I found out about that, and that's probably one of my favorite things. So then going through next is, it's probably going to be a lot of cutting. So what I do to save myself time and just save myself some time and some headaches is I always lock this layer of music. So right here, as you see, I just locked it so it's got those gray bars on it, so you can't even, it's like it's in jail almost. So that just means you can't move it whatsoever. So when I say I'm going to make a cut, like for instance, if I hit Q, it'll cut this all the way back to the beginning. It won't move any of my music, so I'll just Control Z that. But then if I want to do W, same way, so cut to the right, it won't move any of my music. So, because if I were to take my music off, you're going to see it's going to splice up my music, and I just lost a whole ton right there. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you have this locked, or you're going to make sure you don't cut it at all and you don't use the quick keys, which I would just so I would just give you the advice to just lock it up, because you don't want to have to really go through and deal with having to just split each one of these and not have to worry about moving anything. So it just makes it a lot easier on you if you just lock it, your layers.
New bins now. We are...
So now I'm just going to, like I said, go through and just cut it up.
Waiting. Can't touch. That's the bin rules, is you can't touch while they're putting out, but you can look. We found a ton.
So when we were here, actually, I did not film as much as I'd like to, because we're always trying to dig more than film, I guess, because there's a lot of stuff going on and I'm not always focused on camera. So I didn't film any B-roll before we had a cart full of stuff, which is kind of my fault, my bad, but it's gonna happen sometimes. So pretty much with this Thrifting for Gold, it's gonna be mainly just the 2 clips dragged out, and then next time when I make another one of these videos, I'll have to do an actual like editing, like cutting and zoom ins and all that. But for today, it's just gonna be kind of just how I do raw clips with some tips that I do. So then I would just drag this next one right over it to cut from clip to clip.
So, I just found some Gucci.
This was funny.
But this is funny.
Pretty much, like I said, I'm just going to let it load.
So there's some Gucci made in...
Roll through all of this. I'm not going to be cutting any of it up.
So, fake Gucci.
And then I'm going to actually slice that there. I'm going to cut out some of that ending. That's what I usually always do. I always cut out a little bit of ending, because when you have a camera, you can usually hear the click off. So I always make sure I turn that, or I make sure I just get that out of there.
So again, we're waiting for the new bins to come out, and we can only look.
So yeah, this was another clip of us finding some Gucci. And so I'm gonna let that one run. And I gotta see the ending of that clip.
Oh, we're waiting. Okay. Oh, we're waiting. Okay.
So, I mean, that was a hard cut, but for us, I think it's kind of funny that we have stuff like that. So, how I just said we're waiting, I was meant to say, but the camera must have died out or something happened. I could turn it off in time. So, that was kind of cool. I don't know, I kind of like the little mess ups like that. So, I always leave those in when I'm doing my editing.
Oh, this is slipping.
So, right here, I'm going to cut out a little bit of that because that's going to take too long.
Okay. Be careful.
I'm going to get that okay, though. I like that, so I'm going to cut out more of this.
Oh, we're waiting. Okay. Okay.
The double okay. I'm going to get her jumping off, so...
Oh, we're waiting. Okay. Okay. Be careful.
Lots of stuff today.
I'm gonna make just a little cut right there. Actually, I'm gonna do a J cut right here. L cut maybe? No, it's a J cut. So, let's see how that J cut went.
Lots of stuff today.
We just got out. Like usual.
So you can't really tell, but I like when that happens when like our mouth isn't moving, but then there's audio of us talking. It's always like a little like, what is going on? You know, I like to make those little like hints, like, oh, like maybe you rewatch it or something.
Look at that. Big garbage bag. We gotta get to the car. Ugh.
So I'm gonna do that. Cut it to here.
Car. I know. What the heck?
Then I'm gonna cut it again. And I guess I didn't go over, but these tools that I'm using are on the side here. I only use the select tool, the razor tool, and then this track select forward tool. So that one is actually very nice. It's when you hit A on your keyboard, it's this tool, so then anything that you click from that clip on, it will pretty much highlight. So this is just the one clip that I have, but if I were to click right here, it's going to highlight all of these. So that's really helpful on me because I used to do this when I would go. I would have to take it and kind of highlight like this, and it would just take time. You know, you'd have to scroll through your whole timeline and everything, and you'd have to just kind of do the whole clicking and scrolling. It was annoying. So I really love that I that I learned actually on YouTube, that you can just hit A and it'll select them all. So if this layer were unlocked and if I were to hit A, it would get that one as well. So let me do that. So A, it's gonna grab that as well because it's still connected down to here. So you gotta make sure you either have to split it there or just make sure it's locked so you don't grab it. And that's really nice for if, like, say I wanted to import a clip, so like when I find my GoPro clips, I can just take them, pull this over, and I can just drop them in right here in the timeline without having to do anything else.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep that okay and then like thing in there. So two things that I use on the keyboard a lot are Q and W. So with these, it's Q will cut back all the way to the left of you, and then W will cut back all the way to the right. So that will cut out anything forward, like as you saw, there was no, it just cuts it all out. Or Q cuts it backwards. So I love those. I love using that. It's just like one of my like quicker, it helps me just fly through timelines. So right there.
Okay.
And make another cut right here.
Okay.
See, that okay was cut too short, so let me drag it over.
Okay.
There we go. Now let me just drag this one back over. And you guys can see I still have a little bit of the habit of just highlighting the clips and stuff to drag them over, but I only do that when I'm bringing just one clip. If I'm doing the whole thing, I definitely hit the A and hit the select all.
Okay.
So that's what I want for that. And then
Why do we park so far all the time?
I'll keep that in.
Why do we park so far all the time?
Not right.
So far all the time.
Not right. I'm good with it. I'd rather not.
So I'll cut it right there again. So I actually propped the camera right on someone else's car. It was kind of funny. Split that a little bit. Just right there.
We're gonna load up the car now. It's not even in focus at all.
It was in focus. So this was just us loading up the car now. Man, look at my hair. Wow, Kristina did a okay job on my haircut.
Like usual, we're gonna head to Wendy's and then we're gonna go home and show you guys this haul.
So this is where I'm gonna actually stop it, and most likely this is where we're gonna film now and do the haul that we did not film for this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit video. I know it was kind of all over the place. I know it wasn't the best. I don't really know. I'm still trying to learn how to implement my editing into an editing video, so it's very hard to like try to film, but I'm learning. So I hope this really helped you guys. I hope you guys got any knowledge from this. I hope if you are using Premiere Pro, I hope some of the tips I gave you didn't know about, or maybe there are some tips that you use that you can feel good that you're using them, or maybe you can share with me some of your tips that you use, because I'm still new at this. I've only been doing it for about 10 months now, coming up to a year in November actually, so really awesome that I'm able to do this as a full-time job, and to make money doing it is just, it's unbelievable. So I'm so thankful. So thank you guys for watching these videos. Thank you for hitting those like buttons. Seriously, that helps us out so much. And if Kristina were here, she would say thank you as well. So until tomorrow guys, till next video, peace. Hope you have a great day or night. Go crush it.